I am Marwan Cameron, and this is the Conduit. Happy Father's Day. It is Sunday, June 20. Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers out there. I hope that you will have a blessed day, a day of reflection. It's all about you today, fathers. We appreciate you and we love you. Gotta say, my day is going pretty well so far. Always good to be reflective. And, when you have a little bit of Curtis Mayfield in your life, you can never go wrong. Now, I don't want to get a copyright strike, so I can't let that play, but, that's how my day is going. Blessed and highly favored. So I do want to come on and actually wish everyone a Father's Day. Say a few words. As you get older, you discover there are more and more and more and more and more people that you need to honor as these occasions come around. When I was growing up with my dad, one of the traditions that he had that I actually had never seen in any other person's home out of all the places that I visited is during the holidays, during Christmas time, he would put up all of the Christmas cards that he had amassed over the years. And so you would think, okay, well, of course, you got, these children. And as you, have these children, you're going to give your parents Christmas cards, right? And that you keep those mementos. But because he was, so active in the church, a school teacher, a principal, and had been doing it for so long, he had just collected so many cards, right? Store-bought cards, hand-made cards, cards from children of all ages, adults, us kids, just everyone. And so it was really, pretty incredible to see. And I tell you, it was a pain, a true pain. Let me just make sure my volume is good here. All right, looks like it is. A true pain to have to, put all of these pictures up because it would take forever. And if anyone has ever been to my father's house during the holidays, you know what I'm talking about, right? I mean, it's crazy, but it was really cool. And so it got to the point where literally the entire bottom floor and the staircase would be, these cards would be taped all over, and you really couldn't even see the wall. And it was actually, quite decorative. Now it was, it took forever to pull those things down. It took forever to pull them up, but it's one of the things that, I miss. And while at the same time, something that, I haven't recreated, in my own household as a tradition, but it was so special to me. And it's something that I kind of think about it, because Layla, she is always making cards for me. So I have a stack of them, somewhere so I can definitely do that. And I have my own cards from my students and other folks who I've interacted with. So definitely nowhere near, the the amount that my father had, but definitely quite a bit. But yeah, so just being reflective on Father's Day and thinking about that. It's one of my favorite pictures here. This is, let's see, what hood is that? That is my, I think this is my bachelor degree. I think brown was bachelor's and blue was my master's degree. So I think that was my bachelor degree. This is at Old Dominion University. This is I think I'm holding like the fake diploma in my hand. So this is either before or after. I can't even tell what side my tassel's on. So I can't remember if this was pre or post uh, graduation, but it is one of my favorite pictures. Growing up, dad always, had this saying, and it was, God, education, children, and of course, watermelon is always on the menu. I think it was God, children, education, actually. And so when I left home, and I didn't complete, had a ninth grade education, was always in my mind that education was important. And so I didn't step foot into a college campus until I was 24 years old, with the, GED from being 16 years old in my hands. So, um, but that always was in the back of my mind that that was important. And um, he always stressed and encouraged our education, right? I was in Montessori when I was a really young youth. I was in Horizon courses, as I was saying in another podcast, and it was always the emphasis. And I think my dad, like myself, one of the gifts that I have of his is the ability to see the potential in people, right? Seeing the matrix. And so he could see that I was intelligent and had the ability, if I would just use my mind, to achieve great things. And so, once I had earned my degrees, I that was one of the most proud moments to be able to share that with him. And we had both of our graduation ceremonies for my bachelor's and my master's degree uh, in Norfolk, Virginia. So just really special, and I definitely won't forget it. Uh, so I just love that picture. I hate that it got somehow it got color corrected. Like his suit is actually black, but all my blue, which my gown is also black, I believe, but somehow his jacket looks like it's half blue, half black. So I don't know what happened there. Um, but of course, I don't even have the original image of that now. So kind of sad. Keep those memories. When you are transient and moving around and it's so hard and you're just concerned about staying warm or getting something to eat, protecting what little things you have, you know, again, try to, if you can, find some folks that you trust that can keep some of your mementos, because once you get to a point in your life where you're stable, these things will be important to you. But like I said, I wanted to come on and just share some things with you, and wish definitely certain folks happy Father's Day. I want to wish everyone a happy Father's Day, of course. But of course, we have special people in our lives that we want to acknowledge. So first, I want to wish all of the Cameron men who are fathers happy Father's Day. So shout out to Tony and Dondre and Jaredin. And I don't know if Kyle has children or not. Um, there's so many of us. But happy Father's Day to you. I hope that you are being reflective and you are enjoying your day and making the most of it. Of course, I got to give a shout out to the G2 folks. So, board members, Rob, happy Father's Day to you, sir. Raymond, happy Father's Day to you. Brother Marlon, happy Father's Day to you. Drayton, happy Father's Day to you. And all the fathers that are uh, work uh, with G2, happy Father's Day. Again, we honor you. I honor you. And I hope that your day is special. Another thing I think is really important, and we don't often do. I mean, if we have someone that is in that situation, we honor them, but we don't always honor uh, other folks that may not be honored. So, to all the non custodial fathers out there, happy Father's Day. For those of you that are doing the best you can to be present in your children's lives, Happy Father's Day. To all the absentee fathers, happy Father's Day to you. And my hope and my prayer is that you find a way uh, to become active and a part of your children's lives. So happy Father's Day to you. And again, my prayer this year for you is that you find a way um, to become present, to get to know your children, to be able to work past whatever barriers exist so that your child gets to know who you are. And if you're in a space in your life where you've got a lot to work on, my prayer and my hope is that your heart is pricked and you have come to an understanding and you're ready to start to change your life for yourself and for your children. So happy Father's Day to all the absentee fathers, and hoping that you can um, come around and find a way because your kids need you, right? It's so very important. And I also want to say happy Father's Day to all of our fathers who are incarcerated. Regardless of why you're incarcerated, you're not there for your children at this point in time. So happy Father's Day to you. Um, if you are released at some point in time, if you're not serving a life sentence, my hope and my prayer for you is that you are able to connect with your children. I know that is a very difficult thing to do. We know that many times folks that are incarcerated or doing long prison terms aren't often even in the same state as their children. And so it becomes very difficult. And in that, I was thinking about, the words that I wanted to say and kind of reflect on Father's Day and acknowledge our fathers. And I was thinking about Nelson Mandela, right? He spent all those years in prison. And, Nelson Mandela had a poem that he said really helped him get through his prison experience. So I'm going to read that poem to you. And I hope that some can find solace in this, either whether or not they're actually imprisoned in their mind, living their own hell out here in the street. Out of the night that covers me, black is the pit from pole to pole. I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. That is Invictus by William Ernest Henley. So again, I hope that you can find some solace in that. I'm going to read a few quotes from Nelson Mandela that I think is powerful. So we think of my dad was definitely my hero, uh, one of the most powerful and strong people that I knew. And my dad, he was such a man of faith, and I couldn't understand how he was so faithful in the face of adversities or things not going well or dealing with tragedies or dealing with loss. And he did. And his faith kept him going, even in some of the darkest hours, of which other people I know would not have fared as well as my father did, and would still be able to smile and give praise to God, all while dealing with tremendous loss of whatever the situation was going on. Even up until his passing, that's who he was. And I have definitely uh, have not learned that level of strength yet. But let me read this quote from Nelson Mandela. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers the fear. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. I actually like that. I have walked that long road to freedom. I've tried not to falter. I have made missteps along the way, but I've discovered the secret that after climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. I've taken a moment here to rest, to steal a view of that glorious vista that surrounds me, to look back on the distance I have come. But I can only rest for a moment, for with freedom come responsibilities, and I dare not linger, for my long walk is not ended. Again, so powerful, right? To be incarcerated. Another picture of my dad. I don't think anyone's rocking a fro like that right now. You know what I'm saying? That is a classic. And the chops, woof. Dad had it going on. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. If anyone's interested in learning more about this man's life, I definitely recommend the autobiography Long Walk to Freedom. A good head and a good heart are always a formidable combination. So that is Nelson Mandela. I think that's really powerful and impactful there. Let's see what other pictures are up here. I should probably just take a little peek here. Make sure everything is good. All right. Graduation. This is me and Jaredin. That's me and Jaredin. Congratulations. So this should be for Jaredin's adoption. This is me and Skylar. Congratulations. Skylar just graduated from high school on her way to Morgan State. This is my wedding day back in 06. Man. Happy Father's Day to all the brothers. As you can see, my best man and my groomsmen. Happy Father's Day to all of you. I think the only one there who's not a father is DJ. Me and Tom, of course, and me. All right. This is my daughter, Nikoya, and I call her my angel, Sienna, and Kaylani. You know, what's interesting is I remember when I got the call, I was leaving work. I was teaching at the college, and my daughter called, and I was like, I have something to tell you. And I was sitting in my car, and she's like, you know, I'm pregnant. I'm like, whoa, that was mind blowing, right? That is not that's not the news that I thought I was gonna hear. Uh, like, okay, so that was I don't often remember uh scenarios and situations like where were you when this happened, but I remember that so vividly. So definitely a huge memory. But that is my beautiful oldest daughter, Nikoya, and my grandbabies there. Get some other pictures to show you. And I couldn't find the Disneyland pictures. Man, I tell you, I was just telling someone about Disneyland the other day and telling them, hey, do not take your kids to Disneyland if they're too young. It is in Florida. Man, it was so humid. It was so hot. It felt like it was like 150 degrees. And oh man, you wouldn't stop sweating. The little baby was crying. It was hot. The lines were long, and you would go into like one of the gift shops or something like that, and they would have this nice air condition, and you're just like, Lord, do I have to go back out there? I know we got to get into a line for these rides. And it's like, please, please. Oh man, I do not see the fun in that. So growing up as a kid, I may have wanted to go to Disneyland or Disney World, but I would not have been. I'm not disappointed in retrospect as an adult. So there's another picture of my daughter, Nikoya, and this is Sienna. We're in Texas. And that's my daughter in the back there. This is her mother, Kieko, and Sienna. Man, this is years ago. Looks so different. Yeah, it's me, Grandma, and Sienna. Look at that smile. Oh boy, she is something else, and she is a ham boy. And that is Sienna feeding Kaylani. Those are my grandbabies, and of course, they're getting ready to go to the Kingdom Hall. Yeah, and it's good to have pictures. For the longest time, because I left home so early, um, I didn't have pictures because I left home. I didn't have them. And so from, basically 14, 15 to 24, there's not a lot in the way of any kind of historical documentation um, through video or through photography that exists of me, which is really unfortunate. Um, and so again, it's important that you capture those things. It really is. And I will say that it's been hard for me um, being adopted, uh, going into foster care as a baby and being adopted at 5, going back into foster care at 15, um, emancipating yourself at 17. One of the things that sometimes people want, I won't make this as everyone, but for me, I wanted to have my own family unit, right? So, I wanted uh, the wife and the child and the dog and the house and the dream, right? That they say that uh, is what you should hope for, or want for, or achieve, right? That is a definition of success. And for me, it was always hard um, because the man typically takes the pictures, right? So you go on vacation or you have these special occasions, and typically it's the dad that's behind the camera. So even now, as I look at pictures, right, there's a ton of pictures that exist, but I'm not in a lot of them, right? Because I'm the one taking the pictures. And you grow up during the age right before selfies. So no one thought to turn the camera and take a selfie of yourself, back then. And so that was tough. That was um, one of my issues um, that I had to process in regards to my marriage, was kind of feeling like I wasn't actually a part of what I so desperately wanted. So that was a hard thing for me. But it's good to have communication and talk about whatever it is that you're thinking about and what you're feeling, and change it, right? Because people are not mind readers. They can't know what your issues are, or what you're feeling, right? So people can love you as much as they want, but they can't know that. You've got to share and have that conversation. Yeah, happy Father's Day there, Mr. Rob. If you listened to this earlier, gave you guys a special shout out. So, of course, you saw Naikoya, my oldest daughter, and my grandchildren, Sienna and Kaylani. Of course, all of you guys know Layla, who is a newly minted fifth grader. She is a ham as well. She is something else. So, this is us. We had got the camera, and we were trying to come up with a thumbnail for the podcast. And well, one, she loves taking pictures. So once she found out we could do this delay, it just got silly. You know, that's one of my favorite pictures, actually. So we'll look at these pictures, and she's so silly, and I just love to see her happy. Yeah, it's my little bear there. So of course it just gets even sillier, right? It's like, Layla, why? And of course she's like, I want this one to be on the podcast. I want this to be the thumbnail. Like, Layla, no. you know, and she's so funny. And I'm like, I'm asking her why, like, why? These pictures are in order. So it's like, Layla, seriously? uh, but that is something else. Anyway, I don't want to stay on too long. I just wanted to again wish you guys a happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Again, special shout out to all the Cameron fathers, all the G2 fathers, those fathers that are non custodial and a part of their children's lives. We are needed. It is so very important. And again, happy Father's Day to all the absentee fathers. And again, my hope and my prayer for you is that somehow, uh, some way, you are ready to find a way to be a part of your children's lives. Um, yes, no, it's not going to be easy. I'm sure there's a lot of pain and damage, uh, but your children are worth it. And then, of course, our fathers that are no longer with us because they've passed away, as in my father, and our fathers that are incarcerated. Happy Father's Day to all of you. May your day be blessed. May your next Father's Day, if you see it, be better than this one. May the experiences that you share with your children be special and profound. Understand that these times are hard. Love your children. Tell them you love them. I love you all. Enjoy your day. Whether you're doing a cookout, whether you going to the movies, having breakfast cooked by you for you by the kids that may or may not be identifiable, whether you're opening up a pair of socks or a tie, that's all special. All right. Y'all have a good one. I'm R1 Cameron. This is The Conduit.
1, 2, 3, 4.